What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Having Said That show. I am your co-host, Adi, alongside Jay.
What's up, guys? Today we have a very special episode. We've been talking about fitness on this podcast for a long time, and we thought it was time to bring in one of our experts, let's call it.
Experts for sure.
One of my really good friends, one of my favorite gym bros. Let's all give it up for Anaheez. What's up?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you
What's
for
up,
having me.
Anaheez? How you doing?
I'm great.
She came in and she was the first guest who's ever been like, this is so professional. I liked it. I felt so good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everyone else usually comes inside and they were just like, "Oh, this is a little smaller than I thought it would be." It looks big on camera.
But you set the expectations down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we gotta play it down.
But what's up? Tell us about yourself, Anaheez, because I know everything about you, but the
Right.
viewers may not.
I like asking this question. If you got into an Uber,
Mm-hmm.
your driver asks you, hey, what do? You have 30 seconds until you get off. What do you say to him?
How short of an Uber ride is she taking, bro? Like, what?
Just from Beach Candy to Federal Road, bro.
So I do a lot of things. I work a job. I work out. I create content. I'm very funny. I'm studying. And yeah, I'm just trying to hold it all together.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things about your page. When I asked you if you ever wanted to dive in full time into fitness, that's one of the main things you told me,
Yeah.
which was you don't want to be one dimensional. And
Right.
what works about your page and about your content is that you manage everything. You manage your job, your exams, your content, everything all in one.
Yeah.
So you want to speak about that a little bit, because I find it tough just doing what I do itself. So how do you manage all of that?
Right. So I feel like that is the USP of my page because I've always believed that fitness should be a part of your life. Unless you're a professional athlete, then it becomes your life. And everything else revolves around it. But in my opinion, there's just, say, 0.1% of the population that's a pro athlete.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to, put it out there that even though my days are so hectic, it's important for me to make time for myself and for my body because there was a point in my life where I was super unfit. And of course, I had a lot of body image issues that came along with that.
Can we throw up a picture for the guys here? Because you showed me one at the gym the other day.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we throw it up? Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
it's actually a crazy
ridiculous,
transformation.
yeah.
What do you think led to that point though, where you were like, just I have to get in shape? Like it was just laziness, or did you not have a direction to start? Because I know, like for me especially, that was the hardest part, right? It was like, where do I start?
A little more about myself. I was always extremely academically inclined.
Yeah.
So always top of my class. Studies were like the main thing. And I never really was into sports. Like even as a child growing up, I never played a sport because I was more into speech and drama, debates, elocution. That was just one aspect I would say overall where I really lacked. But I was always strong. My dad used to play a lot of sport when he was a child, and I did stuff like ballet as well. So it's not like, I didn't have like muscular definition. I've grown up being like a hardcore non-vegetarian all my life. So I used to get enough protein. So it's not like I was weak. But till around the 4th grade, I was a fairly skinny child. And post that, I started gaining weight. And by like the 10th grade, obviously 10th grade tune in, you want to do really well in your boards, etc., get into a good college. I used to pay no attention to what I was eating. It would be white bread sandwiches and like rice and chicken, regular stuff. And then when I went to college, obviously, it's the age where you start having crushes. And, you see all the cute hot girls in college getting all the attention. And I was like funny and cool, but I wasn't really getting any sort of attention that way. But anyway, that wasn't my focus really. But
She went on like a 5-minute rant of like how much she wanted.
I mean,
that.
yeah, I don't really care too much
Yeah.
about all that shit.
because I knew I was
Yeah.
cool and I was
Yeah,
smart,
yeah, yeah.
and I used to get my due when it came to other things like whatever, performing arts and studies and all of that. But the one aspect that like I felt like I really could like push myself to do better was my appearance. Then post the 12th grade, I went to Melbourne for a holiday, and I was there for 2 months. I wasn't watching what I was eating, and it was cold because summer for us is winter over there. So I was layered up.
Geography.
And, yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah,
I'm smart.
yeah.
It was just layers, and I would go to the city. I was all by myself because I have family there. Just find my way around, grab a box of donuts, eat. And I ended up putting on 10 kgs
Jesus.
in
In
2
2
months.
months.
In 2 months.
Holy shit.
I had no weighing scale.
Oh my god.
So wait, at this
Damn.
point, was like your family making you aware of the fact that you are being unhealthy?
Yeah, I mean, I was on vacation, right? And like, generally people are like, yeah, you eat, you freak out on
Yeah.
holiday. And I was wearing so many layers that I myself
Oh, no
didn't
one could
realize how
tell.
much
Yeah,
weight I
that's
had
crazy.
gained.
Yeah,
You know, now even if I gain like a kg or two, I can tell because I'm
Yeah.
so conscious about like
Like
my
you're tapped
appearance.
into
Yeah.
what you should be looking like, right?
Absolutely. I'm very aware of it. So the first thing my mom tells me when I walk out the airport over here is
Oh,
not,
man.
oh, it's been 2 months. Miss you." It's, you've become really
Oh.
fat, Anaheez. And as Indians, we feel like
That's a real
it's-
one right there, dude. Like if
it's-
your parents aren't telling you that, like who is gonna tell you that?
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
You know, I just feel like in society, we feel like it's okay to comment on someone's weight. Like, for instance, last December, I'd actually lost a shit ton of weight. And I was at this family function, and everyone was like, "Oh, you've lost so much weight. You've lost so much weight. You should stop working out so much." And the reason I had lost weight was not because of my workouts, but because of my nutrition. It was something completely different, right? So, you know, in fact, even my mom again, she mentioned this to another relative. Oh, you lost so much weight, and I was like, "Mom, you can't comment on someone's weight this week." She's like, but I'm telling her she's lost weight. I'm not telling her she's gained weight. So people just think that losing weight is such a big compliment, but it's just at the end of the day, it's commenting on someone's appearance.
But let's get into that a little more. Like,
Yeah.
what do you when you're a girl in like the fitness space, you get a lot of like the, oh, you should stop working out, you
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah.
lift heavy. What is your overall take on that? Like, what do you think that women should actually be doing as physical activity? And what is going wrong with what they're doing right now?
I coach a lot of people as
Yeah,
well, right? I'm
yeah.
a nutrition coach as
Yeah.
well. Most women just want to be thin. For them, health equates to being thin. And I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions because you could be super skinny, but if you aren't watching what's going into your body or how you've become that skinny, what's the point of being skinny? Like, I know someone who was ridiculously overweight, started doing drugs, and lost like 20 kgs. They just didn't eat.
Yeah, I mean that's
What
Right?
drugs were you
That's
doing?
yeah. What? Yeah, just for like the audience at home. Like what? Where? What?
Nowadays, well, I do interact with a lot of my audience, people who slide into my DMs, talk to me about things. And people actually also want to get healthier. Like they want to know there is definitely more awareness about why you should be consuming a protein supplement.
Yeah. Do you think it's more of like a? It's not over fat. It's under muscled. A lot of people become skinny fat, right? That's like the
Right.
new word that's been going around, which essentially just means average. Like I'm my target weight, but I don't look skinny. So like, what's the issue? Like, you know, I'm good for my height or whatever. And it's like it's not a over fat issue. It's just an under muscled issue. So
And
like,
people don't realize that they all want to look toned. And the next thing I tell them is that, yeah, you have to gain muscle. Oh, I don't want to gain
that
muscle.
triggers, dude. Toned, like the word usage of like the word toned triggers the hell out of me, dude. Because it's like, if you don't have muscle to begin with, how do you plan on bringing that out of your physique, right? Because that's what tone means essentially. It's like you get muscular, right? But that phrase has been, you know, just twisted around. And these hit workouts and these like booty band
And-
blaster workouts, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
Everyone wants to do things ASAP. So they won't
Yeah,
take into account the fact that you've gained weight over 30 years and then you want to lose it in 30 days.
Wait,
Yeah.
Anaheez, I wanted
does
to
that
go
work?
back because I feel like you didn't
Yeah.
finish your story of when you came back from
Right.
Melbourne. Your mom saw you. She
Yeah.
said, "Holy shit, you're fat." And then what happened after that point? So like obviously it
And
triggered
after
something.
every single person I'd meet would only comment about my weight. So it came to the point where I didn't want to get out of my house. I didn't want people clicking pictures of me, which is why I have like 2 fat pictures of
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And that too, because they've been professionally captured at like this dance thing that I was doing. I wouldn't have had any pictures because
Yeah.
any picture of myself, I would just be like, oh my God, delete that. I don't want that.
yeah,
So
you
I
mentioned
have-
that also. Like,
I barely have fat pictures of myself.
So then was your first instinct to be like, okay, let me first wipe out all the shit from my diet? Or were you like, okay, let me go run a little bit,
No.
lose weight? How did you get into the gym, you know?
I love reading in general, and I
Okay.
love like just gaining knowledge, even if it's about the most random stuff. So I started reading up. The first thing I googled was how do I lose 10 kgs in 10 days. I mean,
In
I
10
have
days.
no
10
shame.
kgs.
I have
So,
no
so you
shame.
understand where those people come from, where they gain the
Absolutely.
30 years.
Yeah, of
and
course.
then-
And I feel like that is where my content becomes more relevant because I know exactly how people are thinking because I've had that journey.
Yeah. Aside from all of that, there's also a lot of money to be made in the short term of like you telling girls that like, oh, you want to get abs in 30 days? Yeah, sure, sign up. and then she'll just get like 5,000 people to sign up, and then just be like, oh yeah, but I mean, it's 30 days.
Yeah, it
What
was
do you
your
expect?
diet.
What
It
do you
was your
expect?
diet.
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a huge, there's a huge industry built on ASAP,
No,
right?
absolutely.
Like it's just like the 6 week, 6 pack kind of thing, right?
And it also becomes kind of more believable when someone who is really fit is propagating stuff like that,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
find bizarre because I bet that person didn't take 30 days to get into that shape.
Yeah.
Okay, so you Google this.
Yeah, so I googled
Yeah.
how.
And then she just became like an obnoxious like gym bro.
No, and then I found the GM diet, and I found all sorts of random diets, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't think this is the way. And then I stumbled upon low carb, and it was just something that I thought I could very easily do because I love eating like chicken, fish, mutton. I love cheese. I love all the high fat stuff. And I despise vegetables. So not really big on carbs. I mean, of course, love my cake, bread, etc. But those are things that even in general, aren't the best for
Yeah.
you. Now, of course, back then I went extreme. I eliminated all sorts of carbs from my diet. I ate chicken. I started drinking green tea whenever I was hungry to kind of, curb.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
your hunger, skinny teas, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And I have this the dance performance that I mentioned where like my pictures look like, so I would go there, do like all my practices. So that was a lot of cardio
Yeah.
for me, and then I would just go for walks, walk around 10 kilometers. That's how I lost my first 10 kilos.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I went back to like 64, 65, but again, I'm a small girl, I'm short, so I was still chubby, even after having lost those 10 kgs that I gained. So yeah, then my friend was like, yeah, you should join a gym if you don't want like loose skin and if you really want to do this the right way. So I said, cool. And I started preaching the ketogenic diet a lot because I didn't really understand that at the end of the day, it's just a calorie deficit
Yeah.
that is doing it for me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But of course, keto
I
worked
always
for
found the
me.
keto so fucking weird, dude.
Do you guys know how keto became a thing? Like, do you know how the keto,
No.
it was initially developed for seizures in epilepsy
correct.
patients. And they removed
Absolutely.
carbs from their
Ah,
diets.
okay. Yeah.
And they were like, okay, this is probably causing their seizures or this is going to lessen it. And then they were just like, oh, these guys are losing a ton of weight on this diet.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's not even the low carb aspect. Any diet really that you try should have a base of calorie deficit, right? Whether
Right.
it's keto or whatever, all that matters is that you're in a deficit. If you are on keto and you're one of those dudes who just eats butter, like straight
That's
up,
the shit that's so
that's
weird,
like
bro.
and if you're in a surplus and you're like, yeah, but I'm on keto, I'm like, what do you mean?
No, but
bro?
I'll be
Eating
honest over
butter,
here.
dude.
You did
Obviously, confession, I did
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
Dude.
because dude, look,
I
it's-
had nothing
it's
else.
the,
One
it's the
second.
easiest
There
thing to
was
get in,
a
right?
supermarket right next to college. I had nothing else to eat. I walked
Just
in and I
stumbled.
bought butter.
Oh
my
my
friends
God.
can vouch for this and testify.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
What do
and
you
they
mean?
thought
Like,
it was
they didn't have
the
cheese at least?
Listen, I was a student and I was on a budget. Okay, butter is cheaper
Yeah.
than.
Come
Come
on,
on.
Like, no, can you imagine going to like a store over here and just be like, do you have any keto friendly options? Like, especially back when did you
Back
start?
then,
2016,
exactly.
2017, bro?
Exactly.
Like, they didn't like it. There wasn't such a huge fitness culture, right? Even when we started lifting,
Yeah.
there wasn't. These kids nowadays have like the calories written there specifically. There's brands catered to like keto stuff. Like,
And there's a lot more awareness in general.
way more.
Like
way more.
today,
Yeah.
honestly,
definitely.
I would want to follow someone who I can resonate with.
Yeah.
So if there is someone in India who is doing it and who is consuming products ABC,
Yeah.
I'd obviously want to watch that as
Yeah.
opposed to someone sitting in the US
Yeah.
who has access to like 15 different kinds of fancy foods, keto crackers and keto cakes and this and that. But all of that was unheard of.
Are you a big foodie? Like, do you really enjoy your
love
food?
food.
Okay, because I don't, right? So
Yeah.
when I kind of stumbled on the concept of like calorie surplus, calorie deficit, which essentially means if you want to eat, if you want to gain weight, be in a calorie surplus. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a deficit. I was just like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Like it's that easy. Like legit, that's all it is. I was like, done. Okay, I'll eat like spaghetti and like 8 eggs and whatever. But for someone who, let's say, needs to be in a deficit, they just cannot grasp the fact that they need to eat less. They're like, no, but like there's a way, there should be a way around it. There should be like a shortcut. Like, give me some foods that burn fat longer.
This is
whatever.
one thing that I tell my clients. If you're in a deficit, you will be hungry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you're eating.
You
less
can
food.
eat high
I mean,
volume
look,
food.
it
You can
depends.
eat.
It depends on the degree of a deficit, but
Yeah.
that's the job of you to kind of taper them down a
I
little
have
bit.
to be real, right?
Yeah, but regardless, I mean, look, if you're in a 200 calorie deficit and you're used to eating in a 500 calorie surplus, even if it's a small deficit, you're going to feel some kind of hunger for a little bit at least.
And I
right?
also had a
not
client
reasonable,
who
you
told
know?
me that, oh, I'm eating really healthy foods. Like, oh, I'm eating salmon, I'm eating avocado. But you may be eating all the healthy foods in the world if you're not watching the calorie.
If you're eating too much of it,
Yeah,
it
you're eating
doesn't
too much of
matter.
it.
Yeah. It,
Will make
it
a
honestly,
difference.
Have I told you this story? So, similar to when you were younger, I was obese, but I went to this doctor, and I really fucking wish there were more doctors like this in India. I went to him with my mom, and he was just like, "Yo, auntie, could you step out of the room?" She stepped out of the room. I was maybe 13 at this point, and he was like, I was 85, 88 kilos at this point, and he
Yeah,
was
he was a
like,
You
big-
were,
no,
were
he
you
was a
as
big boy.
tall?
no, I was much. I was like obese, morbidly
Oh, damn.
obese.
Yeah.
And he was like, Adi, you have a brother. He goes out, drinks. Do you want to be able to drink with your friends? I was like, yeah. He's like, do you want a girlfriend? Like, he straight up was like, do you want pussy? I was like, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he was like, if you don't lose weight, you're not gonna get any of that.
No,
And it was
it's
such a
straight up.
real approach to like just talking to a kid going through puberty. He kind of understood where I'm coming from, like why I want to lose weight. And it wasn't so much like, oh, like, these are your calories and you got to do this. And he's just like, dude, if you want to have fun in life, you got to fucking lose weight.
Yeah.
You're not going to have fun.
Yeah.
So I wish there were more doctors like that, bro. That would have been so nice just growing up and them being that real with
So
you.
are you trying to say that fat people can't have fun?
Yes. No. Like, okay, look, let's be honest, right? In
They can
his
have
case,
fun
in
at the
his
cost
in
of their
his
life.
in your case specifically, if you guys have seen pictures, I don't know if we throw them up, but he was like obese, and if we are gonna draw the line, and yeah, obese people after a certain point are not gonna have the same quality of lifestyle that a normal 13 or 14-year-old should have.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
if that is the case, then you as maybe like a doctor or a parent or a fitness professional need to get kind of real with them at the cost of maybe hurting their feelings. Because look, if someone gets really, really upset and triggered, for like the first half an hour, they'll just be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like, he shouldn't have said that. And then maybe the next 2 days, they'll just be like, maybe
was right.
Yeah, but
maybe he
I
was
had
right,
the
you know?
awareness that my body image issues and my confidence issues were triggered because I was fat.
Yeah, I mean,
Simple as
dude,
that.
look, it's not nice to be fat, right? I think we can all agree. Like, as in after a certain point,
not
it's
been
just
fat.
I
No,
have
no.
been fat. I've
Nah,
been
you haven't
pretty.
been
I've been
fat.
chubby, bro. Hey, okay, calm down, slow down, slow down. It's not. I mean, it's not nice to be obese. You're shaking your head. Is it? Have you been fat before? Did you like it? But did you like being fat?
The
Was
before came
lifestyle-
very late.
No, no. Aman, I love you, bro. But you've told me this as well. You did not
Yeah.
like the lifestyle you
I
had,
was,
bro.
I mean, it wasn't about. I was a big dude, but
Yeah.
even when I lost a bunch of weight, I didn't really like. I changed my eating habits.
Okay.
And I would run more.
Yeah.
But that's just because I figured out, like, okay, you know what, like, I've become a big boy now.
Yeah,
I
of
need
course.
to like not be one. So
Of course, 100%.
it was, and like whatever, my breakup. But the whole point is like it was.
You
all-
put that at the end as like a shrug, but that is
Yeah.
that is
That was the
probably
big one.
the most
Yeah,
Dude,
so
crucial.
that's
breakups
the biggest I
will-
was ever. This
yeah.
was 2019. I was like 90. I stepped on. My girlfriend and I broke up. I stepped on the scale and I was 93 kilos, which was the biggest I'd ever been. Right? I was 93, and yeah, no, it was bad. It was because like I was just eating terribly the semester before. I put on like 10 kilos that semester, and I was like, you know what? Okay, let's not be 93 anymore.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, calorie deficit, the easiest way for me, I was like, okay, I'm cutting out sugar and I'm
Yeah.
cutting out snacking.
I
And
actually learned that from you, which is I had such a dogmatic view about balance. I was very close-minded about balance because you can't preach balance to someone who hasn't even started yet. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, oh, I cut out sugar. I'm like, you don't need to cut out sugar, bro. You're like ruining your day. You can eat everything you want. He's like, no, dude, it's a cumulative effect for me. If I have one thing, I'm going to have all of it. So for me, right now at least, I want to cut it out and I want to make sure that I have a clean break, lose all the weight, and then maybe I can introduce balance into my life. That was a really eye-opening conversation for me because it's like, it doesn't need to be, you can't develop a perfect lifestyle in a week. Like you said, it takes 23 years to get to that point. It's stupid to think that in a week, suddenly all your cravings, all your bad habits are just gonna go away.
Do you and Aman want to tease what you guys have going on behind the scenes?
I
'Cause-
I wanna
don't think
tease a
it's-
lot, and I think it's a good idea, Aman.
Yeah, just
because
put it on
we
the
were-
show, bro,
we
because
were
then-
outside, and he was like, "Oh, what if we fail?"
Wait,
not
so
good
guys,
branding.
like, I'm gonna let Jay explain what he's talking about here. But I want you to fucking hold Aman accountable in the comments. Like, let him know that
yeah.
he has to do
Oh
this.
yeah.
Go for
We'll
it.
come up with a name for the series whenever, but basically, Aman wants to get in shape. More in shape than he is right now, okay? and basically, he's going to be training with me for, let's say, 6 months.
Yeah.
And we're going to make like a mini film, a mini documentary on his entire process. So, like, he is an absolute beginner in the sense that, like, I mean, you know, do like the power building and the gym and all of that stuff. But he has a good understanding of his own body and like a calorie deficit, surplus, all of that stuff. So me and him are going to be working together for the next 6 months, and we're going to film it, we're going to document it, and we're going to put it out for you guys. So hopefully,
I'm fucking
hopefully
excited, bro.
it's going to be a game changer for you and for me. Because like I said, sometimes I learn the most talking to people who have a completely different perspective, right? You and I can talk for like half an hour and be like, yeah, that's so true, that's so true, that's so
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But talking to Aman, I will be like, ah, damn, I never thought about it in that way,
Yeah.
you know? And Aman's perspective is maybe more what you and I are used to dealing with. We're used to dealing with more beginners.
Right.
So instead of talking to each
It's also
other,
more relatable to people watching who've never been in the gym. Like, it's
Exactly,
gonna be so
exactly,
much more
exactly.
relatable.
So, actually, funnily, the content that I put out that performs the best
Hmm.
are actually questions that I think are so obvious.
yeah.
But usually, how I pick them up is when someone DMs me with a question. I'm like, oh God, this is so stupid. Everyone knows this. And then I'm like, why did this person DM me? Because the
Yeah.
person didn't know this.
Yes,
Something
yes.
that is so obvious to me
Mhm.
is not really obvious for the
Yeah.
general
Yeah.
population.
We went through that as well, like with Sid. And you've seen the Liver King?
Yeah.
You've seen
of
him, right?
course, Yeah.
Natty or not?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
very obvious from like
Yeah.
first glance,
Or
right?
even Kipchoge, like if you look at a runner or something, that's
Yeah.
where the conversation came from. Where
Yes.
Sid was like, "Oh, bro, he's like definitely not on steroids, and he's doing like sub 5 minute miles for like
yeah,
42 miles straight."
No, it's
Also,
like
also people think runners
Hmm.
only run. Like they say, oh, he got so
Yeah.
ripped because he runs. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, do you know how much they strength train?
Yeah.
especially
behind the
sprinters, dude.
scenes?
Sprinters get
Absolutely.
jacked as
Yeah.
hell, bro. Like, have you seen Usain Bolt's like training regimen? Like, he has like the weights on him and he's doing box jumps and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Jesus.
it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But like, yeah, like I said, what's obvious to the three of us may not necessarily be obvious to everyone else.
Absolutely.
And because it's obvious to us, we don't talk about it enough. So it just it just becomes like a kind of like a given that he's natural.
We have a fun segment planned for this exact thing where we're going to bust a few myths. But before we even get into that, we like to do this thing on our show where we ask all our guests what their most controversial opinion is, preferably in their field, but it doesn't have to be. Do you have one?
I like eating jam with my eggs. I think it's delicious.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jay, you can
It's-
take this because I have no experience.
It's a very Parsi thing as well. Have you never eaten strawberry jam with egg?
No. I love jam.
I also
I
have
love
pa-
strawberry jam. I will say that. I'm a huge jam head. But no, not with eggs, dude. I can't have it with eggs.
It's like
cannot have it with eggs.
I would say that people with a mature, developed palate, like
Oh,
pineapple
Oh,
on
okay.
pizza.
You wanna
Oh,
face
so
it?
now he wants to get involved, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me about it. What is the flavor of the egg? What is the flavor of jam? How does it coalesce into this beautiful thing in your mouth?
So obviously you wanna add a little bit of salt
Oh.
to your egg,
okay,
You
okay.
just salt
and
it
the
a little
yolk
bit.
should be runny.
So this is a boiled egg?
It could be soft boiled. Yeah.
Okay, it smells like shit. I've never eaten one. It smells like shit.
Wait.
He's
you,
Jain, so no. Wait. You have to see where he's coming from as well. He's Jain.
how
so
do you
I'm a
even
liberal
have an
Jain.
he
opinion when it
hasn't-
comes
he's
to
a
food?
liberal. He's a liberal Jain. He doesn't eat.
Dude,
he
if
doesn't eat
he's
all of that
Jain,
stuff.
he's not allowed to have an opinion about food. That's about it. He is.
No,
he-
That's a controversial opinion right there, dude. Because even Sid is Jain. Then cousins, you're fucked.
No, because we're forced to eat such limited things. My palate of those limited things. If you want to fuck with me on coffee and shit, it's game over.
But you're just not exposed enough to have an opinion.
I don't.
on
I don't
on
agree.
eggs and jam,
On
I think
eggs,
I
okay,
am
yeah.
exposed enough to have an opinion.
So am I.
I think it's slightly whack, but it is what it is. You like what you like. It's weird for sure, and it's a
Yeah.
controversial opinion.
Yeah.
But You know, why not?
Don't be
Aman,
so
what do you-
nice.
Aman's the food guy here.
Because I've never heard the room fall as silent as it did after her controversial opinion.
Yeah, we've had some wild
We've had
controversial
some wild
opinions,
ones.
bro.
And even then, people are like, yeah, okay, maybe. This one, everyone was like, Sorry? Okay. More than that, okay.
And Aditya was speechless. That has never happened.
Yeah, pitch us the egg and the jam. What kind of egg? What kind of jam? Is it on toast? No toast? That's a bit weird. But like, what is the setup there?
I mean,
Man's
toast
asking the
just
right
adds carbs, but if we're talking,
Oh, but the jam doesn't.
but one second.
so you're putting the jam on the egg.
Or are you dipping it in your jam? So you
Oh, it's a
open your
dip
jam
situation.
can.
I can understand
no,
if it's a dip
no.
situation.
So
Ew.
Because
can
then
I
you contaminate
speak?
the jars.
Yeah,
or
you're
the-
contaminating the jar.
So you have your toast, you have your eggs, preferably runny, and if you're doing like I would say don't do it with scrambled eggs because I feel like it tastes different when like the yolk, like the flavors of the yolk come
That's
out.
how I
like,
envisioned it, by the way. Scrambled eggs is.
Even I
I
envisioned
envisioned
no,
it
not
scrambled
scrambled eggs.
Okay, okay.
Not scrambled eggs. I'm
Okay.
talking about like runny yolk, white, and a little bit of jam and a little bit of salt on the yolk. Trust me, it tastes great.
What kind of jam? Strawberry jam?
Strawberry,
That's
yeah,
it?
yeah.
No other
any
jam?
sort of berry-based jam, like not orange.
Oh
or-
yeah, that's
No,
yeah, that would be
yeah.
outrageous.
Yeah, disgusting. But like
that's-
strawberry, or I would go as far to say mixed fruit sometimes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
berry.
You know what? I'm gonna try this because I really don't.
You got it.
I'm not a huge foodie, so I'm the benefit to that is I'll try anything.
Okay, do
'cause
you
it
do you
doesn't
like dark chocolate cookies with sea salt?
really- I
Exactly,
I'm
you
not like
don't
a
have
sweet- yeah, we
you
spoke
don't
about
have
this,
a
bro.
mature palate.
Yeah.
I-
Oh,
I'm gonna
I-
go.
A developed palate.
I'm gonna go full Aditya here. I think strawberry jam is the worst choice
Yeah.
Oh.
because marmalade has bitter notes, so that
Yes.
complements the umami.
There we, bro. I
Fig
fucking
jam.
Yeah.
No, but I
we
want the
missed you, bro.
sweet.
I've missed you. I have missed you.
I want the sweetness.
No, but it's like
Okay,
sweet
okay,
and
okay.
bitter. Or like fig jam is good because that has savory
but
notes.
to be honest, I don't like marmalade in general.
Mm.
So
Okay, that's fair though. That's fair.
Yeah.
You know what?
I-
I'm gonna give it a try and let you know how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
is
guess
it like a
we'll find
This is the
out.
post
first time me and
workout,
Aman
like-
have been on the same
Yeah.
side.
But I don't have much opinion on eggs as we've discussed, but I have had jam, cheese, and toast.
yeah,
And that's yum.
yeah, that is yum.
Y'all have not had that. Yeah, you've had that. Okay.
Yeah, that is yum.
I'll give everything a shot. I don't mind. I really,
See, I mean,
I'm down.
it's
I'm down to
it's
try
a
it.
similar concept.
Yeah, that's what I was
It
gonna
is
say.
similar
Cheese
concept,
and
right?
eggs
Because
is
cheese a
like,
little
I mean,
salty.
you know,
You salt your eggs.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the white that's throwing me off. Because the egg yolk is umami. Umami and sweet work.
Dude, the white doesn't even have flavor.
Yeah, but that's
like,
why it throws
honestly.
me off.
That
'cause
might
it's
be a
weird-
controversial opinion.
No,
bro. I think-
yolks
I
are
think
bursting with
Yeah,
flavor.
but
Yeah, yeah.
Where's
you're
the flavor
you're
in
gonna
an
sleep on
egg
the
white?
albumin, bro? Like what?
It's got the protein.
Yeah,
It's got the
exactly. I
protein,
mean,
but, like-
dude, I went through.
Of
a
course,
whole
you had to
phase.
throw in
I-
like, hey, everyone, look! I know that egg whites are albumin.
I had a huge phase where I just used to like throw all my egg yolks away and just eat the whites.
Yeah,
And
a
that was
bro
like
phase.
I think we all we all went
Well,
through that.
welcome to the pro.
Yeah. No, but dude, I was eating like okay, so because he was Jain, I started working out because of Aditya, like primarily as well, because he.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got me into like.
And
working out
I
and
started
lifting and
powerlifting
stuff.
because of you.
Oh, that's true. We'll talk about that.
Oh,
We'll
so
talk
I'm
about that.
responsible for all of your careers.
It's
Okay.
like a pro. Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
So because we had a conversation when we were like 16 or whatever, and I was like, "Yo, I did this in the gym, and this is this." He's like, he sat me, and I was like, "Yo, listen, I've been lifting for a long time, and you don't want it to get to a point where it becomes your whole life, bro. You don't want to like check the calories for everything, and like, and whenever we're drunk, I just always bring that conversation up to him. I was like, you remember when you said don't make fitness my whole life? But how we met actually was pretty funny. I thought it was funny. And now you also think it's funny.
How you and Anaheez met?
Yeah, so
How did you
basically,
meet?
Yeah.
we met at Five Fitness. Shout out Five Fitness. And she was deadlifting, and I was running a powerlifting program at the same time. So I was there with my buddies. She was there alone, and I think she was going for like, what are you going for, 225? That was your max.
Yeah, I
was
was
like-
going for a PR.
Yeah, and then she missed it, and we all saw it. It was like a casual miss, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then she came and sat down on the ledge right next to me, and I was wrapping up and strapping up and everything, and I just heard something in the corner, and I turned over, and she was like weeping. Like she was like, it
What the
started
fuck?
off as like a and then I looked at her and she just burst out crying, okay? And then I was just like, okay, if someone is this passionate about missing a lift, what's up? Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? Like, what is are you on a program? Like, what? So that's how I introduced her to powerlifting, because she was coming in every week and pulling a max, which you can't do because you need to work up to those kinds of weights. So I introduced her to Calgary Barbell program. It was like a powerlifting program. I was like, I have an extra belt in my car. I'm gonna get that for you right
I
now.
still use it.
Yeah, I know.
It's the belt I use.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool, man. That's how we became bros. And
Sick.
Yeah.
That's cool because obviously there is this notion that you were talking about that, you know, women shouldn't be lifting. My girlfriend often's like, I don't want to get bulky and stuff. Like, even to this date, bro,
Yeah.
like, as much info as she has, as
Yeah.
close as she is to us,
yeah.
what I want you to talk about is kind of your, if there was a girl in front of you right now who said this, what is your comeback to her? Talk about like supplement use. A lot of girls are opposed to even doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's your take on that?
When I say supplements, the first thing someone tells me is, I don't want a supplement, I want to keep it natural. But do you know that supplements, like good quality supplements, are all natural?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I feel like it really boils down to a lack of real knowledge and just a lack of like sources that people get their information from. So of course now when I'm bulking, which is basically the phase where I'm trying to consciously put on muscle, like I'm bulking right now. I am 4 kgs up from 52, which I was in say December.
What was your peak cut weight?
52.
Oh, okay.
That's the leanest I've
Okay,
been.
yeah.
I don't remember the last time I was 55 was in grade 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't remember being, as lean as 52. So that was awesome for me, like getting there. But right now I'm sitting comfortable at around 56. I feel great. I don't really, obviously, really deep into my cut, I used to get headaches,
Yeah.
lack of sodium, all of
Yeah.
that. It happens. And I wasn't even someone who was competing, but I have like knowledge about it and I wanted to push and test my limits.
Yep.
So I got to 52 from 62 at the beginning of the year. I was 62 in Jan 2022 and by December I was 52. And ever since then I've been eating a little bit more in a surplus, trying to push my weight and stuff. So even right now, say if I'm sitting in a sleeveless top, someone would regard me as a little bulky. But as I get to say
Jacked,
62,
usually. Yeah.
jacked, yeah. But as soon as I get to 62, like I have people around me saying, hey, but don't you go to the gym? Like, why are you looking so broad? Why are you looking so like, and when I went down to that 52, everyone was like, oh, wow, you look great. Like, look at the definition. So this is what I always tell people that, of course, if you're doing something like a bulk and a cut, there will be extremes. You will look a little chubby on your bulk because you can't gain only muscle.
I think the problem is most girls don't want to go through that phase.
They just don't want to gain. The word
they don't wanna go
gain.
through
Why
the-
don't we do
the
this?
bulkier
Jay, are you
phase,
down to do this? Are you down to role play as a girl who is going to Anaheez for advice? Okay, and you're just skinny. You're like a skinny girl, so you have like experience.
Okay, I'm like
with-
skinny fat,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, and you're trying to just get like your ass to look a little bigger. You know, whatever it is. Go.
Anaheez, I just really want to tone my butt and just like make it bubbly,
Yeah, so you want to.
Okay.
As the self-appointed HR, I feel like this is a disaster. waiting to happen.
No, come on, it's fun. It's fun. Go.
Okay.
No, it's fun. It's fun. I like
Yeah,
it.
I like it.
Okay,
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
to- Bro, what's the
No,
harm in
go
role
ahead,
playing? bro?
Yeah.
I think Aditya's enjoying this the most.
Of course he is.
That's why I put Jay. in the
What
category.
would you? Okay, honestly though, what would you say to someone who's completely skinny? Obviously, when you interact with your clients,
Yeah.
you can tell how much body fat, how
Yeah,
much muscle
absolutely.
they have, right? So, are you just like brutally honest with them, or do you kind of try and shuffle them into your own thought process?
No, so I ask them what their goals are. Of course, I take down their history and all of that, and I understand where they're coming from culturally, how they're eating, etc. Because I honestly feel like food is a very big part of your life. And it's not just about macros. It's a lot about like your emotions, how you culturally eat.
Yeah.
And it's about,
That's a big thing. That's
yeah.
a huge thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, for instance, if I'm on holiday, like 5 years down the line, am I going to remember the amazing pizza I ate in Italy? Or am I going to remember that, yeah, I was counting calories and like, I didn't really enjoy my time in Italy.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I tell my clients as well. But coming to actually address what you said,
Yeah, the bubbly butt.
I would tell the person that, okay, so you want to gain size on your butt.
I don't want to gain size. I
Yeah.
just want a bubble
She
butt.
wants to-
I just want
Yeah,
a bubble
exactly.
butt.
But if you want it to look a certain shape, where is the shape coming from? If you
Don't.
gain fat overall, you're gonna gain fat
But I don't
everywhere.
want to gain fat.
But you gotta listen to me.
But-
Too bad that you should be coming to me.
no, I feel you. I feel the frustration.
Yeah.
But
So you may gain weight, but when you're gaining muscle, you're actually. So this is what I always tell people, that if you want to lose weight, you can lose weight even sitting at home without going to the gym. But the kind of weight loss
Yes.
and the way your body looks
Yes.
is only going to be determined by what you're doing at the gym.
Mhm.
Right? So you can't expect to go to the gym, run on the treadmill for like an hour every single day and expect to look toned or expect to look sculpted.
Yeah.
You know, in just the generic
the
sense
thing
of the
is,
term.
any one of us three would like do anything to be back in that newbie phase of like recomp, right? Because
Yeah.
when you're, especially when you're a new lifter and you want to like build muscle, lose fat, which does happen in a recomp phase. Like if you've never lifted before, and we'll see this with Aman as well, like you will start to rapidly put on muscle and lose fat. You can do both if you're a newbie. I think breaching that gap to the public needs to be done.
Another thing that I always tell my clients is that when you're lifting, your only focus should not be on the scales, because I have so many clients whose weight is stagnant, but their clothes are getting like looser.
Nice.
They're looking better. They're feeling better overall, right? So there's a lot more to like health and nutrition in general than gaining or losing weight. That's what I always.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jay and I have been working out together for the last like month, and he actually got me back on creatine.
Oh,
I've been
yeah,
putting on like
yeah,
weight,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what kind of supplements are you guys on right now? What do you recommend the most? Like top 3
Okay,
supplements.
first things first, get yourself a training partner. Okay, because no, like I'm serious. Like the level of my workouts, and I think your workouts as well, has just exploded, right? I think first of all, nothing will replace intensity in the gym at all. You have to go hard. You have to do all your sets, all your reps, follow the program. Now, if you do get really into fitness and you want to supplement, the only 3 necessary ones to take would be protein, like a protein powder. If you're dairy sensitive, I would say like an isolate
or a
um,
vegan protein.
or a vegan protein.
Yeah.
Creatine, I would put creatine at the top of my list actually,
Yeah,
because
same,
it
bro.
like if I had nothing else, dude, I would just take creatine. And the last one for me personally is an essential as someone who works out late in the day after a full day of work is pre-workout. Like
Oh.
I need, I mean,
Really?
I don't, dude, creatine, protein
Wait,
are the only
essential, bro,
two.
you have 3 supplements. What are you?
What
picking
I
as your
would,
third?
I wouldn't take anything because the pre-workout helps me do the workout. You know what I'm saying? Like the pre-workout helps me do the
I
workout
actually
part.
would agree to that
Oh,
to a very
wow.
large
Yeah.
extent,
Yeah,
as someone
yeah,
who
yeah.
also prefers working out in the evening. And of course, if I'm working out like early morning,
I'll still take
dude,
pre-workout in the
I'm-
morning. Like
yeah, no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
am so sleepy in the
So is there
Yeah.
any time of the day where you all wouldn't take pre-workout?
yeah, post say 6 p.m.
Okay.
That's when I wouldn't, because
I take
I
pre-workout
have
all the
trouble
time, man.
sleeping and I need sleep. But coming to creatine, I have seen a marked improvement in my just the recovery.
Mhm.
Like apart from of course sleep, which is really essential. If I don't sleep well, I'm super sore the next day.
There's a
But
few misconceptions about creatine. Do you want to like clarify them a little bit? Because a lot of people say that it makes you bulky, like
Yeah.
it stores water and it makes you like super watery.
Hmm.
And I just want to say that it stores water in all the right places.
exactly, it
Like
makes
it
me
stores
look
water
so
in
jacked.
your muscles.
In your muscles and
So
not
if
in
you
your
have
fat
muscles,
cells.
I mean, you know, if you have muscles,
Absolutely.
that's where the water retention is going.
If you have muscles and a fairly low percentage of body fat, then you look great.
Yeah, so you'd recommend creatine on a cut, basically.
Yeah.
That has absolutely
Absolutely
zero
helps
impact,
with
right?
recovery
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
It does not cause hair loss. Like that is one-
Yeah, that is a
like,
huge.
look at
yeah.
that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's actually a huge. That's a huge reason why guys sometimes will stop doing creatine or will not take creatine in the
Yeah.
first place. I've been guilty of telling people that, like, because I don't want to be responsible for someone balding or some shit. So like, you know, when I was like 18, I was like, hey man, is your granddad bald? And he's like, what the fuck? Why are you asking me this right now? But yeah, it does not cause any type of hair loss. So
And I think it's
there's a
also
lot of myths
important
around it.
to know that it's important to get your supplements from good sources as well.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Having said that, we love to show love to Indian companies, and one that actually showed us some love, sent us some shit the other day, and I know you work with them as well, is Fast&Up.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And
Love Fast&Up.
we all love
huge
Fast&Up.
Fast&Up
Yeah.
fans.
They were actually kind enough to give us a discount code for you guys exclusively for the HSD Army, FUP HSD. So guys, it's going to be up on the screen. If you guys want to get supplements, the three of us personally, I actually called for their vegan pre-workout, which has like no caffeine, so it's just beetroot nitrates.
So he's gonna be taking that
I
for
take-
most
yeah.
of the day.
yeah,
like-
I can't do caffeine after 4. But
the
Fair.
Fast&Up pre-workout is like one of my favorite pre-workouts. We speak about this a lot because it's like 300 milligrams a scoop. I don't take a full scoop. I'm not that young anymore.
Yeah, 3-4.
But
does it
yeah,
for me.
honestly, dude, like it does not give me a crash. Like I can fall asleep personally if I have like half a scoop of like Fast&Up pre-workout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I fall asleep like that, literally.
what, you don't and you still take it? You were like, oh, really?
I mean, no.
No, I mean,
so
dude, anything for the
not
fucking
post
games,
6
you
p.m.
know?
yeah, dude.
But you
Not
work
post
out
6
pretty late in the day. Like you work out at 7 p.m. sometimes.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't consume pre-workout if I'm working out at 7.
Really?
I'll
Okay.
only have like a black coffee.
Damn.
That's
should just
also
try
annoying.
it.
Nothing,
like,
nothing.
once in a while,
I
right?
have. I
And you
have,
can't,
I
like,
have. I
fall
can't
asleep?
sleep.
Wow,
Can't sleep
okay.
before 1:30, and that is
Yeah.
pretty late
Yeah,
in general. Unless I'm working, like unless I know that I have to go back home and study,
Yeah.
or if I know that I have to go back home and work again, then I'll definitely
Yeah.
have pre-workout.
Bro, but it's
'cause
not
I'll-
even
let me
about
power
like
through.
you being able to sleep. Like y'all should know this, bro. The
Yes,
caffeine
bro.
affects your sleep even if it's not letting you sleep.
But then it also depends upon the
I'll-
rate that
I'll tell
your
you-
body metabolizes.
Yeah, I'll
caffeine,
tell you what
right?
though,
It's very subjective.
No, it is though. Like it like you build up a tolerance to that
Exactly.
shit, bro. Like, dude, I've been having pre-workout since I was like 17. It helps the workout so much. Like, I can not have pre-workout and have an okay workout, but at like 6:30 p.m.
Also,
after
the-
a whole
the
day
rest
is done,
of
and
your
we have to like
day-
lift heavy. Like, you know how intense your sessions should be and how intense our sessions are.
so you're saying
I
it's
would say
because
the
you're
rest of your
tired
day
that
is
you're taking it.
also, and the
Yeah,
rest of your
of
day is
course.
also
I
pretty
mean,
active.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like
exactly.
he's always like on his feet.
So working
Yeah,
out today,
yeah.
I guess you're not taking pre today. It's been a pretty chill day, no?
I mean, if we want to have a really fun sesh, I mean, why not? Why would we not take pre? Right? It's just one of those things, but it just makes it more. Look. I'll say this: if you don't work out too much, like if you work out thrice a week, and you have other priorities, and lifting isn't your first priority, maybe don't take pre-workout as like your essential supplement. But if you're someone who enjoys their workouts and it's like the best part of your day,
And who wants to
why
max
not-
out.
Yeah, why not enhance that a little bit more, bro?
Look, this is the philosophy that I went into the gym with day one. If I'm giving this 1 hour of my time and 1 hour of my day, I want to do it well and I want to do it right.
How many hours has that gone up to now?
1.5.
1.5. Oh,
Sometimes
man,
3
okay.
hours when it's with you, but
But
then we're also talking about life.
That's true. That's true.
You guys want to do the myth busting segment? We have a bunch of things that Aman, Sid, and all have like curated that most people ask fitness people. So I thought I'll just throw out like a topic to you guys, and then
Sure.
we can tangent off into
For
something.
sure. But before that, I just want to know if Aman and Sid had any questions about anything we discussed right now, because we are gonna get into a lot of this stuff. So Sid, if you have any questions, I know Sid is a huge runner over here. Like he runs
Cool.
a lot, which I mean I find pretty cool because I can't run for
Yeah, I
shit.
can't run.
So like Sid, maybe you want to take us through like how you fuel up for runs and how you like supplement yourself. Do you supplement yourself?
Yeah, so okay, this is a common. So I have those Fast&Up gels. Now, do you consider that as a supplement?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I mean, a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
supplement by the way as well.
So I do have that.
They're delicious.
Yeah, they're amazing.
What's
And
your-
I tried
what's
it.
your favorite
I tried
flavor,
it for
dude?
my marathon this year.
Yeah.
Game changer. Like,
Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
do it.
it
Strawberry
nowadays, dude.
banana.
Oh, that's
I-
the one
oh
he
my
made me try.
God,
That's
I
yeah,
love
no,
it.
I like that.
Unfortunately, I got the other flavor, like the coffee flavor with extra caffeine in it. So I was just wired.
Yeah, yeah.
No, the strawberry banana is also nice. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that I have for my run. And I've significantly noticed that if I ever run without one of them, without having that, it's always not as good as with.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point, at some level, it's a placebo. Maybe
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, what do you guys think about that? Because I noticed this.
Placebo is huge, like for fitness as well.
Yeah.
Because she likes foam rolling. I don't like foam rolling. There's arguments and studies
What's
about
foam
what
rolling for?
like foam rolling is like when you get on a foam roller and you
And you
foam
foam
roll.
roll.
Yeah.
Great
No,
definition.
it's like giving yourself a massage with like a
with
roller,
that-
right?
that-
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
like we've gone back and forth on like the benefits of it and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that says it works, it doesn't work. But when I do it and when she does it, it feels amazing. You feel like you're opened up. You feel like the blood's flowing. So even like with
It's science.
super, yeah, no, for sure. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, just placebo wise, whatever works, dude. Like if it works, keep taking it, keep doing it, and
Yeah, that's what certain kinds of music does for me. Like I feel like if
Yeah.
I'm listening to a certain song, I will have a great set and a great session.
you guys want to get political with
Or like a certain
with the
genre of
music?
music.
You guys want to
Let's
get
do
political with
I think we
it?
would have dropped the reel that we shot like yesterday
Yeah,
on
yeah.
them, but
Yeah.
we'll put it up again here.
It's three very, very distinct styles of music while we're working out. So
Yeah.
you prefer like, I mean, you obviously prefer the music you listen to normally, right? So
I prefer that if I'm working out with people. If I'm working out alone, I'm like on a podcast, audiobook, something like that.
really,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
I run on a podcast also. I
feel
don't know,
like
it gets
that's
me
easier.
distracted.
I drive.
yeah.
I drive.
Driving, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
driving
too.
in podcast, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No, I like.
She was like, I drive. I'm a woman and
Oh,
I drive.
I'm just saying, I do
Well,
it. But I like
Thank
listening to,
God you
like,
categorize me as a woman. Because I lift and I listen to metal, you know, so.
I like listening to like music that I like listening to, bro. Like I don't need.
Oh, really?
Maybe when I
That's
was
so
younger,
interesting,
hey,
bro.
motherfucker. Like when I was younger, I used to listen to like EDM and like shit to like pump me up. I don't necessarily need music to pump me up anymore. I just
Yeah.
listen to whatever I like, and if it happens to be pumping me up, good. If it doesn't, and I like the song anyway, makes no difference to me.
It's
Right?
one of
I
those
don't
forms of
need-
extrinsic motivation
Yeah,
that
I
they
really
always
don't
talk
need
about.
music anymore.
But
like
that's
I like
what I feel
just-
about the pre, bro. Like I feel like I don't need that shit. Like I can
That's
pump
okay.
myself up mentally, and I think y'all can too if y'all try it once.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll listen to my playlist for every single time that I don't have pre.
What
Okay,
about
yeah.
my playlist?
No, I can't take that. I can't take that. No.
Yeah, what kind of music do you listen to?
So when I'm working out, at least it's a lot of rock, heavy metal, prog metal.
You want to sing some metal for us? Like just.
Yeah, just let me
Like
the mic,
scream.
let me just take care of my mic.
Well,
Listen,
perform
it's-
like-
it's-
Oh, Sid, whoa, dude.
Dude. like
I mean, okay, go ahead.
do you know there are like different styles, sub-style genres
I
of
have-
metal?
I-
Like
you
it
probably
can
didn't
be
fucking
so
know that, yeah.
emotionally. Like I could listen to something that's categorized as metal when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm angry, when I'm any emotion on the spectrum. There is a metal song, and there are several metal songs that would actually be great. So when I don't know, man, when I say metal, people just think of like some
Like
scary looking guy with long hair
Headband.
and like
Yeah,
screaming
yeah,
into
yeah,
a
yeah,
mic.
yeah.
It's not that. Educate
that-
yourselves.
That was my
Yeah.
You're going for a metal concert as well, right?
I
in
am, I am,
March?
I am.
What
It's-
band is that?
So it's just these two independent artists who've
Okay.
come together and they
Okay.
put out like an album. So
What's their name?
Luke Holland and Jason.
And they're playing a show in Bombay.
Yeah,
Sick.
and it's really exciting. I'm very
That's cool.
excited
Yeah, no, you tell me
it's
this
only
yesterday.
instrumental
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's definitely a little technical.
Hmm.
It's not like Alter Bridge and like Linkin Park kind of
Okay.
stuff. And it's prog metal, so you don't know what's coming next. Like you
I
don't
have
know
no
like
idea anyway. Like,
progressive metal. So yeah, Jason Richards.
Okay.
Holland.
okay. Yeah, no, you were pretty excited about that.
I'm
That'll be cool.
so
That'll be
excited
cool.
about it.
That'll be cool. Is that like your first metal gig?
In India, yeah.
I do think that workout music is like a mental thing, because when I was losing
True.
a lot of weight, I wasn't lifting. I was either doing cardio or I was running, and I would do like bicep curls with my little 5 kilo weights. But my point is that like I would run at night sometimes, because this was during lockdown as well. And then during those, I would be listening to like acoustic music at times, which is like the opposite of what you should.
Yeah, I also listen to Hans Zimmer sometimes. when
Hans
I'm
Zimmer, I
listening.
think, works because like he has those like he has.
Crescendo and all of
highs,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
but
was listening to like music. I like writing to like acoustic, soft acoustic music, and I would listen to that while running. And I think it was also like a mental thing, because it would get me reflecting on my relationship, and then that would be extra.
Yeah,
motivating.
yeah,
yeah,
of
When
course.
songs hit like
Yeah,
mid-workout,
yeah,
We've
yeah,
all
yeah.
heard it there while squatting, right? Like it's.
Speak
Bro,
for yourself,
all-
Jay.
all too well, the 10-minute version, man.
Deba.
That shit slaps.
Bro, you're gassing. There's a Taylor Swift song called Peace, which
Yeah.
also sort of builds, and I would run on Altamont Road with like the ups and downs to these, bro.
Hey man, whatever
I
gets
mean,
you there, bro. You know, it is what
Honestly,
it is,
I lost
dude.
like 21 kilos in 6 months. I was
Wow,
on
that's
it.
impressive, man.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
seriously
yeah,
impressive,
yeah.
bro. Not gonna lie, man.
Cool.
It was all diet and Taylor Swift.
All right, guys. First fitness myth. You need to be sore after every workout. If I'm not sore, I don't think I worked out.
This is something I deal with on a like a daily basis where people sometimes tell me like, oh, I don't feel destroyed or I don't
Right.
feel like worked enough. It's like if you are on a training program, like you're not working out, right? You're on a training program. If you stick to that program, you will get the best results. Because if you're killing yourself every single time you step into the gym, your chances are you're not recovering from your
Exactly.
workout the next time you go. Right? So a lot of these people, and these are usually the people who work out like maybe twice or like once even a week. And they're just like, oh, I always feel destroyed when I work out. I never want to like be able to walk out of the gym. I'm like, you're probably doing something that you don't need.
Yeah, and people
Right.
also measure like the efficacy of their workouts with regards to, oh, I sweat so much. I had a great workout. Like sweat does not equate to how effective your workout's
Yeah,
been.
different
Similarly,
people
even for
sweat.
like soreness, I am relatively more sore when I'm on my cut for the simple reason that I'm not fueling my body well enough. So
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
recovering well enough.
Yeah.
So even though the workout and the intensity is the same as that on my bulk, because I'm eating more than like the requirements of my body or adequately, I recover better, and that's why I'm not as sore.
Yeah.
Right, the next
Also,
day.
if you're pushing maximum weights every single time you step into the gym,
yeah.
you're not allowing yourself to kind of recharge, build up, put money in the bank, save it for the next workout, right? Because it has to build
That's key.
progressively. You have to increase slowly and efficiently. Of course, look, if you come in one day, you've had a really bad day, you just want to max out, go for it. But if you're maxing out every single time you step into the gym and you've
Yeah.
lifted for like 2-3 years, you're
Yeah.
gonna hit a wall really, really quickly because you're taking your body to failure every single time you work out, which
There
is
was this guy
absolutely
who was on
unrecommended.
Joe Rogan who explained it so well. He was like, let's say you're a beginner, you come in on a Monday, you do 10 pull-ups,
Hmm.
and you're just sore the next day.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
then on Tuesday you don't do any pull-ups.
Oh,
As opposed to doing 6 on the first day and then
Mhm.
6 on the other, you've in essence increased your work capacity. You're doing more work and you're not sore both
Mhm,
days. I think that's like the simple key way to go about
Yeah, that's actually a really good podcast. Firaz Zahabi, I think he's GSP's, George St. Pierre's coach,
Okay.
UFC Hall of Famer, 170, 185 champion. Yeah, that's a great podcast, just training wise. Yeah, it's fantastic.
We'll link
Check it out.
that for you guys
Yeah,
in the
you
description.
guys can watch it after this one.
But then again, I am just an opinion. I'd rather do like 12 pull-ups on one day and then not do pull-ups at all the next day.
Really?
Yeah, but
I mean, look,
in
if
this
they
case, he's
write the
saying
next day.
the
I mean,
cumulative is more.
and for the simple reason that I don't want to be doing pull-ups like every single day. So I'd rather do
Oh, so you
12
feel
on
like it's a
one
mental
day.
barrier.
It depends on how your program is structured, right?
True,
Also?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But like for instance, if I'm doing legs on one day and the next day I'm doing chest, shoulders, and triceps, I want to max out on my CST day.
No, but
So-
remember we were speaking about your pull-ups.
right, like
specifically.
working on pull-ups.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, let's say
Also, you're very
pull-ups is like
experienced
a-
and you can kind of gauge that.
yeah,
True.
that's
Beginners
true.
can't gauge
That's-
But
that.
like, if you want to improve your pull-ups, for example, and you're someone who can do 0 pull-ups,
Yeah.
like 0.
Starting
Where
from
do I
scratch.
start? Right.
Right.
You start with like inverted rows, which
Or
is like a
negatives.
assisted horizontal pull-up, essentially.
True.
And then you use bands, you use negatives. There's so many different training methods that you can use to improve at something other than just hammering that one movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
That's
if you
because I
don't-
can do 12s. I mean, I
That's
can't.
that's true.
All right, guys.
Like,
Second
what I
myth,
mean.
and this is the one I think both of y'all might get the most. Yo, I feel good in my face. I feel good in my chest, bro. My belly fat is like getting to me. Can I just like? Can you just help me remove that? Because that's all I really want, dude.
So if you write affirmations on your stomach, right, you can take this one because you get this one
Oh.
probably way more, right?
All
Targeted
the
weight
time.
Targeted
loss,
fat
essentially.
loss.
Can you target weight or fat in any area at all?
Spot reduction
Spot reduction
is a
yes.
myth.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course, genetic predisposition is a thing where you're predisposed to storing fat in certain areas. So I'm predisposed to storing a lot of fat on my arms, but I have a fairly like ripped core, right? That does not mean that, oh, I've been doing abs so much and which is why my core is ripped. It's just the fat storage patterns of my body, and that's what dictates where you tend to store fat. Of course, even gender matters. Like women tend to store fat on their thighs. A lot of men, you see them with pot bellies and like really skinny legs, right? So, no, you cannot spot reduce. Of course, you can weight train to build muscle in that area, which gives and lose fat overall, which gives you that illusion of having, bigger lats, thinner waist.
Yeah.
But you can't walk into a gym and say that, hey, I want to get rid of my belly.
Yeah.
And I only want to progressively work towards getting rid of my belly.
Yeah.
That's a myth. It cannot happen.
Like you said, predisposition is pretty much everything, right? Like it's almost like first to come, last to go, almost, right?
Yes.
Like which is
Yes.
when people
yes.
say I'm dealing with stubborn belly fat, it's like literally when they put on weight, it goes to their belly. When they lose weight, it goes last. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like like if you're like on a cut and you're like, damn, I still haven't lost belly fat, but you've lost everything else. It's like, dude, if you want to lose that extra belly fat, you're gonna have to cut a little
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You know, like it did, like that's just the reality of the situation for some people, and it depends. Like I put on fat on my face or on my back, you put it on differently, so it's like it really is super individual, but the universal truth is you cannot spot reduce. You have to kind of see it through,
Yeah, and, like,
lose as much
even-
weight as it takes for you to get rid of that, right?
So I, in fact, have like most women hate this kind of body where you don't gain a lot of fat or muscle easily on your glutes, which I don't. Unfortunately, everyone wants a bubble butt. Sadly, I have to work like 5 times as I have to work like 5 times as hard to say gain muscle on my legs,
Yeah.
but my upper body is great, is very strong, and I gain fat and muscle on my arms so easily.
Yeah.
And
But-
and that's what women hate.
Yeah.
Like that's what even I used to hate about myself. Like, why lie? I did have body image issues, which are much better now because I know how it is scientifically and how the
Yeah.
body works. So,
Yeah.
and until you accept that and love yourself for who you are and what your body type is, you will never be at peace with yourself.
Can I also add that, like, I know how you train. You train pretty intensely. You
Yeah.
do all the right stuff, right? But like for some girls, they essentially do a leg warm up as their entire workout.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is essentially like, you have the bands and you're opening your legs, closing it, and just getting like active. I was like, dude, that's what I do for like a squat warm up.
Absolutely.
Right? Like if you like, and I think it is unfairly aimed at them, where like these girls on Instagram are like posting, all of these booty blasting workouts and stuff. It's like, dude, that girl did not get her butt from doing band extensions.
Yeah.
with
like,
her
I
glutes.
had
like
someone-
it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, she got it from that tea, bro. The
That,
booty.
that's yeah,
She got it from
exactly.
the
You
tea.
gotta sip that green
Yeah.
tea, bro. Like
No,
Speaking
but
of
but
which- you gotta-
I'm not feeling it. People are like, oh, I don't
Yes.
feel squats in my glutes, but I
Yes.
feel it when I'm doing booty bands
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's like,
No.
dude, when you shorten the muscle and you contract it to its absolute limit, you're going to feel it. But the majority of muscle built and the majority of structure built around those areas are going to be your compound movements. Do any type of squat movement. You don't have to be locked into a barbell squat. I feel like a lot of people think that squats is one dimensional. You barbell squat or nothing. You can Bulgarian split squat. You can sumo squat. You can goblet squat. You can reverse lunge. You can lunge. There's so many different squat
Absolutely.
patterns out there. Pick one, grind it, you will see results. Don't be on the adduction machine and think you're gonna like, get a huge ass or like whatever your goal is, essentially, right?
Yeah, I've tried all of it.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that.
All right, guys. Before we wrap this episode, Anaheez, do you have something for our empty shelf for us?
I do.
I'm just gonna give you a whole bag. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna transition that booty thing into the fact that I made a bet with one of my friends, Raul, back
Okay, I
in the
know
day,
this.
where if I lost, I had to do a sponsored ad of the booty on my Instagram. So I'm gonna do that actually, but but we made a bet for this year
Yes.
that you were present for.
Yes,
where
you
I
want
have
to
to do
speak
it.
about that a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, I bet Raul that I can do a 12-minute plank
Okay.
at the end of this year.
Okay.
So I'm training for that right now.
Yes. We're up to what, 3.5 minutes now?
3:15.
3:15.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Just
Yeah,
a
not
minute
bad
a
at all.
month. That's
Not
the
bad at
goal.
all. Not bad at all.
A minute a month.
A minute
Add
a
a
month.
minute a month.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It does get progressively
I know.
No, but
tougher.
like, so-
you'd rather at
I know
2
you've
minutes.
done a long ass plank.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
That's a
Jesus.
long
Oh,
time, bro. That's a
yeah.
really long time. But like I said about programming, he doesn't only plank, right? He's
Right.
doing weighted planks, like, periodizing it up nicely, like doing 2 minutes over like 3
15
sets
seconds
or
a week.
something.
Yeah, like
15
but
seconds a
how
week,
I would
essentially.
do it is I would rather not go with like a minute a month. I'd rather say that
Like
do
2 minutes in the first month.
exactly
And then taper
because
it,
it
off.
does
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it's like losing weight, right?
You're right.
The initial like spurt of weight loss is much quicker than like the last 5 kgs.
That's actually a good. Bro, where the fuck were you when I asked you to program this, man?
For planks?
For planks?
I mean,
Coach
I don't.
Jeh,
Hey, whoa, it is what
where
it-
was
Look,
Coach
I'm helping,
Jeh?
I'm helping you as much as I can, bro. Like. Like I'm just standing there.
Easy math,
I'm
easy
just like
math.
standing there. I'm like patting his stomach, and I'm like, "Come on, bro, come on, 15 seconds. Just fucking touch me right now, bro." I swear to God.
All right, what do you
What are
have for
the
us?
what are the stakes though for your bet?
Oh, the
Oh,
stakes.
the stakes
It's actually
are-
for the fucking show. I'm doing this for having
Yes,
said that.
technically
so if
he is,
I
yeah.
lose, I have to buy him like what's it
Flight
called?
simulator.
Flight simulator.
Yeah.
And if he loses, he has to buy us a camera.
Cool.
So guys, we really need him to plank. Okay? We really need him to get these 12 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So what have I got? I lost one of my straps.
That's sick.
Okay.
So obviously one strap really doesn't help, and I have to buy 2 more.
Mm.
So I got you
Oh,
a
sick.
custom strap.
Thank
Wait,
you.
was
Manifesting 1 million followers
shit?
for your show.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Man. That's great. Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
called subscribers, but we let that slide.
No.
Instagram. I speak
Instagram,
in
okay,
fluent
Instagram.
Instagram.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, man. That's pretty cool.
Guys, subscribe, like, and share the podcast if you want us to get to this. Thank you so much. Do you want to place it? We allow the guests to place it wherever they want.
No, sure. Like, you.
Okay, that's prime
Does that like
location.
cover?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Legally, we can't.
okay, what about
Legally,
that?
we can't.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like a little flag.
Yeah, it should be in the guest shot so they know whether they have to subscribe.
That's brilliant,
Awesome.
man.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And yeah, we'll have you back when we do the 12-minute plank
Oh,
video.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
All right. See you. Peace.
You are now tuned in to Having Said That.